Hello, I'm the Dark Fae, and welcome back to Danganronpa 2 Goodbye Despair. Are you ready for the glass trial? Who's the traitor? What was the clue Nagito left? Will they be able to see the light within the darkness between hope and despair? Who knows? This trial feels really... I mean, there's gotta be, there's gotta be a twist, slash, I feel like it's gonna be so different since you don't have Nagito, like, helping to drive stuff. So, I'm very curious. Okay, I have a lot of things. Alright, the silencer. Time limit doesn't decrease. No, I don't care about that. These equipped. There are a lot of things I didn't get. It's fine. I'll review my truth bullets real quick. Victim is Nagito Komaeda. Body was discovered inside the warehouse. Estimated time of death. It's noon sharp. There's just... Oh! My new theory that I came up with after editing the investigation part is that I don't exactly know how, but with Nagito tied up like that, I think that he was holding the spear, like that area of like the rope part that doesn't have the blood, that's the size of a person's fist. I think he was holding it, and the spear was like looped around that high beam up top, and so he was actually the one to let go, and it stabbed him. And maybe the killer did that to make it seem like it wasn't actually, you know, to make it look like a suicide, or to technically make it so that like Nagito is the one who is the murderer, which makes it like a moot trial, kind of. So that's my thought. I don't exactly know where the burnt rope comes from, but I wonder if that maybe, like, I'm wondering what would have triggered him to open his hand. You'd think the pain, you know, but but anyway, that's what it feels like to me. Stab wounds. Yeah, and each rope were tied to nearby pillars. I guess that rope, if it was tied to a pillar, which then burnt? But then how would it be put out? You know? Yeah, that's the part. Survival knife, this thing. So I really think he was like holding something like this, and then, although if the blood splatter depends on where the blood splatter comes from, I guess, because if it comes from like that slice wound on his left arm, then it makes sense. But if it's from the actual spear hitting him, then that's different, because then he couldn't have held on to it as it, right? So interesting, but that's what I'm wondering. And it doesn't seem like that he was being tortured to confess something, otherwise, like, why duct tape, right? This, only the section where the cord and weight touch is bloody. What? The cord with an iron weight at the end of it extends from the back of the handle. For some reason, only the section where the cord and the weight touch is blood. That's not true. That's not true at all. Okay, no. Okay, so no. The spear didn't kill him. The spear's not what killed him then, because he was holding it. Something caused the blood splatter, and then he let go because he died. Because, right? That's okay. Well, this too, was this like a test? It's so strange. Healing girder allowed a tipped over Monokumas, which started the fire. And the MP3 player. Sonia was... Oh, right, the bombs are fake. Monokuma also knew this. Monomi's weird diary. And these... Oh, and there's also the poison. Oh, shit. The enchanted liquid is highly potent and takes effect immediately. Pisano. Though its volatility is low, this liquid is very dangerous when vaporized. In a gaseous state, it is heavier than air. Oh! So what? Okay, so what if the blood splatter is caused by all of like the knife wounds and such? But then, when the fire started, that's what vaporized the poison, and that's what killed him. And then his hand opened, and then the spear dropped. I don't know. I don't know. All right, let's fucking do it. Finish preparations. Proceed to class trial. Are you ready? Yes. Let's go. Allow me to explain the class trial. We already know. We know this.
Oh my! Monami? My cute little sister? You're awfully quiet. What's happened to you? You've ascended the ladder of adulthood and reached the moon?
What?
Because you're a rabbit?
Monomi looks pissed. And like...
Chesto!
Oh. She didn't even complain.
One more time!
What happened to Monomi?
Jeez! How about this one?
Normally she's like, ow, it hurts so much when you hit me with the blank attack.
This will be my final blow!
Okay, stop beating her up. What? Did she go offline or something?
It's useless.
Please stop! I feel bad for Monomi.
You're right. Now's not the time for me to horse around with Monami. The class trial has started, after all. The victim this time is Nagito, who was attempting to reveal the traitor for everyone's sake.
Yeah, for everyone's sake. That's what he was doing.
Who in the world killed him? I'm so curious.
If he was killed for trying to reveal the traitor,
Then stands to reason the traitor is the one who killed him.
that traitor is obviously the killer.
See?
They were trying to shut Nagito up.
Ta-da.
No, that might not be it.
Huh? Are you trying to protect the traitor? They didn't call out when we were in danger. Wait. Don't tell me you're the traitor.
Of course not.
Don't say something so stupid. There's no way in hell I'm the traitor.
Now that's more like it. Why don't you guys hurry and start arguing already?
The traitor and the killer who murdered Nagito, are they really one and the same? It's here, right? Sorry, I'll stop trying to predict. Wait, why does Gundam have, like, his ex is, like, fancy? Fancy? Oh, Gundam! And his ex is different. It's not just, like, Ibuki's. Are they the same person? What's Nagito's? Oh, it's just, like, drippy. Weird. Or... Oh, it's make your argument already? What even are we talking about? I have no idea what it could be.
The killer didn't tape Nagito's mouth to shut him up. I'm telling you, they were torturing him.
The reason Nagito's body was covered with wounds.
It's because the killer tortured Nagito.
I mean, yes.
So that's why he was so beat up. What were they trying to find out by torturing him? Definitely the bomb's hiding place.
No, because they
If
already
so, the
went off by
suspect
that time.
is whoever found the bomb first.
What?
That was Fuyuhiko.
I found it by coincidence. There's no way I'd torture someone.
Why did the killer have to torture Nagito? No. Were the wounds on Nagito's body really caused by torture in the first place? I don't... What? What is happening? I don't even know what the first... I don't even know what this first, like, argument is. Like, what? And... Survival knife?
The killer didn't tape Nagito's mouth to shut him up. I'm telling you, they were torturing him.
The reason Nagito's body was covered with wounds.
It's because the killer tortured Nagito.
So that's why he was so beat up. What were they
I'm thinking it's torture wounds, but like I don't understand what it's trying to refute. I don't. This is a great start. The blood that splattered onto his face wasn't under the duct tape. The tape itself had a lot of crinkles in it, as if Danganronpa was desperately moving his mouth underneath it. Oops.
Definitely the bomb's hiding place. If so, the suspect is whoever found the bomb.
That was Fuyuhiko.
This is not.
I found it. There's no way I
Coincidence.
torture someone.
So it's the torture wounds thing, right?
The killer didn't tape Nagito's mouth to shut him up. I'm telling you, they were torturing him.
The reason Nagito's body was covered with wounds.
It's because the killer tortured Nagito.
I don't think so.
No, that's wrong.
Okay, I'm not sure. Let me just see how it.
But Nagito's mouth was covered with duct tape.
Yeah,
So he wouldn't have been able to confess anything.
but isn't that his point? That he was torturing him, not. Oh, maybe Soda's point is that torturing him in order to reveal the traitor. What am I saying? But not just torture for the sake of torture.
If he was being tortured for information, they wouldn't have taped his mouth like that.
Okay, because the way Soda said it, it sounded like it was torture for the sake of torture.
I'm prepared.
Oh, hello.
Ah, I just realized it. It's a trap.
What?
Trap?
Stupid Hajime. You got caught in that trap.
Excuse me? Stupid. Soda, babe, you're always wrong. You haven't been right once. Not Spirit Gung. Let's go with this
Like
one
you
now.
said, if Nagito's mouth was, you'd obviously assume he couldn't talk, right? But that was the trap. He wanted to hide the fact that he got interrogated.
No, because of the blood
If you
splatter
tape his
thing.
mouth shut, how is he supposed to answer anything?
Yeah.
Pay attention. This is how it... First, the killer tortured Nagito and got information about the bomb's location.
Oh, it's not about that one. Hajime, you idiot. What are you even saying? Are you trying to rebut me with that?
Crap!
Oops. I just went
Pay
with the
attention. This
first.
is how it went. First, the killer tortured and got information about the... Then, after they killed him...
Oh, after they killed him. Okay, after they killed him.
Damn it!
I never know which
Like
one.
you said, if Nagito's mouth was taped, you'd obviously assume he couldn't talk, right? But that was the trap. They wanted to hide the fact that he got interrogated.
I'm sorry, I'm not.
But if you tape his mouth
These are
shut,
the worst. I hate this one.
how is he supposed to answer anything?
Pay attention. This is how it went. First, the killer tortured Nagito and got information about the bomb's location. Then, after they killed him...
Yeah.
Allow me to cut through those words.
Because the duct tape was clear. He was clearly moving.
No, there's no doubt Nagito's mouth was covered with duct tape before he was beat up.
What did you say?
Who cares about the duct tape? We might as well settle this with rock, paper, scissors.
Fucking Akane, why are you so?
We don't need to play a game. It's clear the duct tape was on his mouth before the torture even began.
Why do you always side with Hajime? Do you have a crush on him or something?
Are you in elementary school or something?
You were with us when I peeled the duct tape off Nagito's mouth, right?
Yeah, seriously, Kazuichi, we talked about this with you there.
The blood on Nagito's
Oh, there's
face
that
wasn't
face
under
again.
the duct tape, remember?
The blood on his face came from his arm wounds. Which means the duct tape was on his face before his arms were even wounded.
And the duct tape had a lot of crinkles around his mouth. He must have been struggling to open his mouth under the duct tape.
Perhaps the duct tape was used so he wouldn't be able to scream. Then it's like I said at the beginning. The tape wasn't for torture. It was to keep his mouth shut.
However, if they wanted to seal his mouth,
They did not need to hurt him with
Yeah,
such
seriously.
ferocity.
They probably had a deep grudge against Nagito.
Then, are you saying the killer was trying to make him suffer?
There you go.
If so, it's friggin' crazy. Did they go psycho or something?
No, they didn't just go crazy. Whoever did this must be one crafty bastard. If not, they wouldn't have taken the time to set fire to the crime scene and destroy all the evidence.
The warehouse fire was for destroying evidence?
I think it's to vaporize. I don't. Well, though, to be fair, I don't know if that's how you're supposed to vaporize the poison.
Can't think of any other reason.
But who could have done that?
Akane, when you open the door.
When the fire occurred, everyone in this room was gathered in front of the warehouse.
But like, who could have set that up then? This is like one of those closed door things, because how do you set up the Monokumas to be like that? And then be able to leave, because they'll be knocked over once the door opens. So it's just a reason that whoever... Did Nagito really did kill himself? Because, right? Because there's no way he could have left unless he was hiding. But, I mean, he's the only other body unless there's another student who somehow is alive.
Yeah. And right after I opened the warehouse door, the flames started burning from the very back.
Which means
But
it
then,
is plausible to think that nobody here set the fire.
are the stab wounds? Then how did the stab wounds happen? Are those real? I don't think they would have been self-inflicted.
The killer isn't one of us. But that's not the case, huh? I mean, it's wishful thinking.
Unless it was somebody who...
Even if it was only a coincidence, the timing was just too perfect.
Based on the pattern up until now, we should suspect that some kind of setup was used for this.
I'm also trying to think if the rope on his right hand could have been tied to the door, and that's why it was so hard to open, but it opens inward, not outward, so...
Some kind of setup? Like what?
I do not know that, but that has been the pattern before.
That's our Miss Sonia. You have such an amazingly high intellect.
Such a contrast to you sometimes, Soda.
Alrighty then. Let's think about this
Sorry,
based on what
babe.
Miss Sonia thinks. Is that okay, Miss Sonia?
Damn right it is!
The reason for the fire, huh? They're right, we need to clear that up first. Make your argument. Monokuma panels? Or the oil lighter, one of the two.
The direct cause of the fire was the oil lighter found at the crime scene, right?
We think so.
The killer used some kind of setup. He lit the curtain on fire with the lighter.
Da da da.
Some kind of setup?
Are you still ignoring me?
Did they use the oil as an improvised fuse?
They probably just threw the lighter.
No.
Based on the shape of that oil lighter, it can stand upright while the flame is lit.
If they tipped over the lighter in some way,
Yes. Clatter, 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 I get
could have
it.
ignited the curtain.
Alright, it went in. What?
Some way?
Maybe they used invisible thread.
No.
There should have been a way to tip it over with sound waves.
Oh, sound waves. I saw tip it over and I thought that was it. And I was just like, well, fuck.
Crap!
Oops. Oh god, wow, my HP went down real quick.
The direct cause of the fire was
Sorry.
the oil lighter found at
The killer
Oh,
used
wait.
something, lit the curtain on
some kind of setup.
Did they use the oil?
They probably just based on the shape. It can stand up
If they tipped over, it could have ignited the curtain.
some way.
Maybe they used invisible thread.
Akane sounds so much more
There should
serious
have
in
been a
this
way
one.
to tip it over with sound waves.
Or perhaps opening the door caused.
There we
I
go.
agree with that.
Thank you, Sonia. Soda sound waves?
I also agree that opening the door is what started the fire.
Yeah.
Just as I thought, it was the wind pressure.
Well,
A
no.
dust devil blown here from glorious Japan.
Calm down there, hun.
No, not wind pressure. They probably used the Monokuma panels. A huge number of tipped-over Monokuma panels were found at the crime scene, right?
Mm-hmm.
It looked like they were scattered everywhere, but some were laying on top of each other in a single line. Just a single line leading from the warehouse door to the fire's origin.
Does that mean anything?
I'm not even going to dignify
The
that
killer
with an
probably
answer.
arranged those Monokuma panels to create a domino effect.
Hey, that's exactly what I said.
A domino effect. You mean those tiles kids play with by lining them up and tipping them over?
In place of those tiles, the killer used the Monokuma panels.
I really like her Galaga hairpin. Oh,
So when
yay.
we opened the warehouse door, the first panel toppled into the second.
See, that's what I'm wondering. Is that fourth pillar? Why is that burnt off if it's not near the curtain? And how come the Monokuma plushie didn't get, you know?
And from there, they fell like dominoes until they reached the lighter at the end.
But wouldn't it be obvious that those big panels were falling over?
Yeah.
That's probably why they turned off the lights in the warehouse, so we wouldn't notice them.
But we heard them.
So the reason the warehouse was dark was to hide the domino effect.
And one more thing. There was something else the killer did to hide the domino effect, right?
Sure. The MP3 player?
I see!
Assuming to hide the noise.
You're talking about the MP3 player, right?
This is not an element that I remember
That hand blaring
noticing.
throughout the warehouse masked the sound of the falling panels.
Except it kind of didn't, because we heard the clattering anyway. The inside of the warehouse felt even darker because our eyes were still used to the bright sunlight outside. Within that darkness, a loud hymnal blared through the warehouse at full volume. Hey, do you guys hear something? Yeah, it's really damn loud. Does Nagito like listening to this depressing crap? Oh, okay. I remember now. No, I'm not talking about the music. And as if on cue, it suddenly started. The fire.
That's it. So the strange sound was actually the sound of the panels falling.
Yeah.
But those sounds weren't the only strange thing, right?
Oh god, so many strange things.
Looking back on it, it was also strange when we opened the door to the warehouse.
It's fine, I'll open it slowly. No, that's not the problem. Seriously, it'll be fine. With those words, Akane brushed off everyone's warnings and slowly opened the door to the warehouse. She's like that one party member in D&D when everyone's planning things carefully and being cautious and then they just go. She's one of those players. Clatter, clatter, clatter. Huh? It's not opening? Is there something blocking the door? I can barely open it. I knew it. It's a trap. Just seriously, just stop it, okay? Didn't I tell you it'll be fine? I just gotta use a little more force. What happened to opening it slowly? Akane ignored their protests, and with a mighty kick, the door flew open.
Ah, so the door was being blocked by a Monokuma panel.
Yeah.
And when we opened the door, the domino effect started, and the
Sorry,
falling
I'm really
panels
obsessed with my hair
eventually
right
reached
now.
the lighter. Yeah, and that's how the warehouse caught on fire. At least, that's how it looks.
How it looks.
You don't look so sure.
At the time, Akane mentioned that she could barely open the door.
Because the panel was blocking it, right?
But the blocked doorway, there wasn't enough space for a person to fit through, right?
Is that a problem?
So who set up the panels?
It's a major problem. I mean, that door was the only entrance to the warehouse.
And that door was the only entrance to the warehouse. I see. The killer couldn't have left.
I see!
Yeah, I just said this like a few minutes
The
ago.
panel was so close to the door that it could barely be opened. The killer inside the warehouse wouldn't be able to leave, right?
Now that you mention it.
I almost read it. I forgot that they read all of
Does
them.
that mean they were hiding inside?
Who? We were all outside the warehouse, you know.
Based on the patterns up until now, I believe some kind of setup was used.
This is my suspicious dance.
You don't have to think so hard. There's actually only one person who could have possibly done this.
Tell me, Nagito. Huh?
You don't mean...
But if that's true, This murder,
Hajime? What do you mean?
the person who set up the domino effect inside the warehouse, there's only one person who could have done that. Oh. Nagito komaeda.
What if it was Nagito?
Okay, everything I've been thinking so far has been correct.
Why'd you bring him up? He's the victim, you know.
He wasn't just the victim. Maybe.
Huh?
Not just the victim? What does that mean?
A lot.
He was the victim. And he was the perpetrator, too. Maybe.
But this feels like really early to jump to that conclusion. Because there's still a lot more clues to go through.
Are you saying this was a suicide? Don't be stupid. His body was covered in torture wounds. Or did you already forget?
But also, there's no way he could have tied it. Well, do you think that's why one of his hands is free? So he could tie, because you could tie all your legs to the pillars, and then you could tie one hand. Tie one hand so that it's free, and then tie another hand. But you can't do it if you can't tie all your limbs to, you know.
Are you saying those were all self-inflicted?
But Nagito might do something like that, don't you think?
Dude, Nagito's the flippin' craziest. Like, if he did do that, like, I'm not gonna like believe it until they confirm it. But this, you even living on this island with this guy who just, oh my god.
That's not the issue. He was tied up, remember? Even for a creep like Nagito, it'd be impossible for him to tie up his own arms and legs.
Not really true.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, as long as you understand.
It seems we need to discuss how Nagito was able to tie himself up.
There you go.
Need to discuss?
Yep.
That's not necessary at all. No matter how much you think about it, it's clearly impossible.
You don't have much of an imagination, do you, Fuyuhiko? Like he said, it seems impossible if you think about it, but I feel like I'm overlooking something. This doesn't say. Oh. Okay. The burned rope?
To actually tie up your own arms and legs.
With the right
That's
hand.
obviously impossible.
Tying just the legs is one thing, but tying both
Both
arms would be
arms.
impossible.
Yeah.
You couldn't do much with the free arm.
It'd be impossible if you were by yourself.
You were by
How about
yourself.
if you use your teeth? Or if you use your front tail?
What?
Dirty joke! Is that a dirty joke?
Oh. You're a dick? Wait, if our assumption that Nagito committed suicide is correct, Nagito should have tied himself up too. I didn't see anything that I could have refuted or agreed with. That's okay, right? If you tie up what? Okay.
To actually tie up your own arms and legs.
Yeah.
It's obviously impossible.
You'd think that the obviously
Tying just the
impossible
legs is
part would be
one
the
thing,
thing I'm
but-
refuting.
Tying both arms
I'm
would be
assuming it's
impossible.
You couldn't do
the
much with. It'd be impossible if you were.
How about if you use your teeth?
it
Or
must
if
be
you
the
use your
first
Dirty
one.
joke! Is that a dirty...
It's funny. Burned rope. Because he didn't actually tie up all his limbs, apparently. So,
To actually tie up your own arms.
real
that's
fast. Yeah.
Hold on a sec. Isn't that premise flawed?
What? I mean, it's no mistake that his arms and legs were.
No, it shouldn't have been both of his arms. The rope on his right arm was completely burnt up. Based on that, you can't say he was tied up.
That was just burned by the fire. He should have been tied up before then.
But I don't think the fire reached that far.
It burned because of the fire. Like you said, it might look like that. But that was part of the trap. There's concrete evidence that proves it.
To prove that the burnt rope on Nagi's right arm is a trap. His right sleeve
I see. Take a close look at his right sleeve.
They mentioned it wasn't burnt.
Even though the rope was burnt up, his sleeve wasn't burned at all. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, like, how would the fire just stop there if there was no outside force acting upon it?
A burn like this, no matter how you think about it, is unnatural. That rope was burned in advance so it would look like it was burned in the fire.
Then Nagito's right arm wasn't tied up, right? He was able to move it freely, right?
Yeah, that should be the case.
Hajime, that's awesome! I'll let you cop a feel if you want.
Akane, what is with you and letting people, like, molest you? It's a problem.
Akane, you should not give it away for free. Make sure they pay you first.
Shh. I guess so.
That's definitely wrong.
Fine. I just gotta get a Benjamin from him before I let him touch me, right?
What is going on?
That's not what I meant. I'm talking about Nagito.
Okay.
I mean, even if his right hand wasn't tied up, the knife was still stabbed into it, you know?
It's impossible to stab a knife into your right hand with your right hand.
Ah, that much is obvious.
You could... Is it possible he was holding the knife in his right hand and then, like, went like this? You know, like knife and then bam and then ow. Ooh. Maybe that's what he was holding, but then I still think I'm still going with my spear idea.
Hajime, you tricked me. Give me back that Benjamin.
I never gave you a Benjamin. Not only did she try to charge me, now she wants the money back? What the heck?
Hold on. There should be a way.
Then hurry up and spill it.
If it's something lame, I'll make you give back the Benjamin with 10,000% interest.
But you never gave me your... You just don't get it. A way to stab yourself in your right hand using only your right hand. It's okay, there's definitely an answer for this. Blood on girder?
Even if Nagito's right hand was free, how could he stab his right hand with his right hand?
If he threw the knife into the air and let the knife fall, could he stab his hand that way?
I mean,
Is he
technically,
a
yeah.
knife expert?
But
Maybe he propped the knife somehow? And slammed his right hand down on it?
yeah.
Propped it onto what?
If he just propped the knife, he could have used his bound left hand.
If you're tied up, your arms won't bend that easily.
But
We don't know if his left hand could even reach his right hand.
I mean, if you're like... It's not that difficult. I mean, maybe. It depends on how far you're... Look at me, like, trying to reenact this. If... yeah, this is the left hand, and then... I guess that's true, because you can't technically, like, reach all the way. But if Nagito could only use his right hand to stab himself in the palm, then how did he do it?
Even if Nagito's right hand was free, how could he stab his right hand with his...
Hang on. Survival knife. He stabbed it first and then tied himself up? No, but blood on girder. I'm trying to think if he could have used the weight to also, like, the weight was like tied around it and it was like hanging and then could or if like, but I really still think that's the spear. What are the other bullets that I have? Survival knife, Monokuma plushie, blood, Monokuma panels, wait, it's not the lighter. Oh! Used this to, like, maybe he stabbed it, put the knife in, and then wham! Oh, why would you do this to yourself? That's the only thing I could think of for this. And that's why there would be blood on it. Because Monokuma said he did. Okay, let's...
If he threw the knife into the air and let the knife fall, could he stab his hand that way?
Is he a throwing
It's
knife expert?
Chiaki's.
Maybe he propped the knife somehow?
Right?
I agree with that.
Yeah.
The life-size Monokuma plushie. He must have used that to prop the knife.
And this is how you know Nagito's terrible. How could you ever... I guess it's a Monokuma plushie. But how could you ever stab a plushie? Aw.
Makes sense. That's why there was a big hole in the plushie's
I can
stomach.
imagine if Pusheen... No. Poor Pusheen. I would never.
He inserted the knife handle into that hole to prop it up. Then he slammed his hand onto it.
That's so... It's just so insane to me.
If that's it, he had to place the plushie near him. And it also explains the mysterious blood on the plushie.
So the blood on the plushie came from Nagito after he stabbed the knife into his own right hand.
I see. So that's the trick.
Yeah, the trick. Like one of Joker's magic tricks. Do you want me to... You want to see me make this pencil disappear? It's a terrible
For a
Joker voice,
moment,
but...
I seriously thought Monokuma died or something.
A bleeding plushie is super scary.
It is
It's got
super
the same fear
scary.
factor as a doll whose hair grows too long.
That's oddly unsettling, yeah.
After stabbing his hand, he no longer needed the plushie, so he cast it off toward the fire's origin point.
Hoping to burn it.
He probably thought the fire would incinerate it and destroy the evidence.
So what do you think now, Fuyuhiko?
I get what you're saying about the wound on his right hand, but there's still one huge
There's
problem.
no way Nagito's messed up enough to do this.
The spear. Basically, you're saying Nagito committed suicide by impaling himself with a spear, right?
Yeah.
If you think about the order, getting killed by the spear should have been the last thing to happen to Nagito.
Yeah.
If that's true, how is that possible?
The cord and the weight.
He can't grab a spear with his right hand if a knife is stabbed into it and his left hand was all tied up.
Then he probably took the spear first, and as he endured the pain, he stabbed the knife into his right hand.
Well, no.
There is a limit to his constitution. If you got penetrated by something so big and thick, you would die instantly.
You all see it. It's Sonia. You all see it. Soda sees it. Hears it.
Sorry, I didn't catch all that.
Please, Soda. I know yours is not big and thick.
Like I said, if you got penetrated by something so big and thick, you would die instantly.
Say it one more time.
No,
I
stop.
need to record it. For reasons.
Soda, please.
Hey, bastard, you better cut it out!
Like she said, in that condition, it's very difficult to stab yourself with a spear. It'd be hard to use a spear with a knife stab into your right hand while your left hand is tied up.
So you're saying it's impossible?
Incorrect.
But no matter what I think, I can't believe Nagito's death was caused by someone else. I also agree with that.
The thing that I don't understand is what is the purpose of Nagito doing this? Of him deciding to set all this up and commit suicide like that?
To think that one of us could kill someone with such cruelty, I could never believe that.
You say you can't believe it? You just don't want to believe it, right? But that's why you keep getting betrayed over and over again, right? Same goes for this time, too.
You just shut your mouth.
Oh.
It's against the rules to interfere with everyone.
He finally spoke.
If you even think
Oh, and
about
it's
doing
very
anything,
zoomed.
I have a plan of my own.
Monome's sassing me.
But it's just as Monokuma said. We've been betrayed over and over again so far. So this might also be the same. Calling this a suicide takes too much for granted, and it's too convenient.
Yeah, it's suspicious that they've like already figured it out, basically. So I really do wonder if this isn't Nagito. if that imposter dude he's gotta still be alive somehow.
Then are you saying there is a killer among us, Kazuichi?
Of course, that doesn't include Miss Sonia and me.
As Kazuichi said, it's true we've been constantly betrayed. But even if I'm betrayed again, I still want to believe in everyone. No matter how many times I may be betrayed, I still want to believe in everyone.
That's admirable, but then at some point, like, fool me X number of times, right? Like, shame on, you know, shame on me and all that.
I also want to believe that there's no killer, but suicide is unimaginable.
Not really.
Do you really think so?
But you said it too. It'd be impossible for him to stab himself with a spear in his condition.
Okay, let me prove that he stabbed himself with a spear.
I did say difficult, but I never said impossible.
Yeah, stop putting words in her mouth. Huh?
I feel that there's some way he could have stabbed himself with that spear.
What kind of way?
I don't know.
You don't know.
It's impossible to figure out by myself. So let's think about it together.
Good job, Chiaki. That's why we like her. But also, yeah, Akane, that was a very judgmental you don't know when you don't know anything ever. Alright.
That's how we made it this far up
I'm
till
very
now.
riled up in this case.
Everyone working together.
She's right. We've made it through several ordeals up till now by doing that. Then, even now,
All right, let's do this.
what is it? Make your argument? Okay. So like, just don't make me do logic dive or some shit. On left hand, activate modified red rope. Blood on left hand?
How did Nagito stab himself with a spear?
I already explained this at
Let's
the
work
beginning.
together and think this through. When the spear
Lord
stabbed
Kazuichi
Nagito,
Soda?
his right hand was covered by the knife, right?
He was only able to move his left hand.
But his left hand was also tied up.
Then that rules out his left hand.
Wait.
If that's the case,
Ow.
the only other way is...
He used his teeth? Or maybe he used his front tail.
Stop with the front tail.
I know guys have tails that get hard when they're grabbed.
What are you saying?
A blushing Miss Sonia is freaking awesome!
Oh my. Akane. Somehow, you're in high school and you don't know how male anatomy works. You're just going around grabbing people by their dicks. What is happening? The only thing you could have used is I meant
How
to.
did Nagito stab himself with a... Let's work together. When the spear stabbed Nagito, his right hand was covered by the knife, right?
He was only able
This
to move his
part.
left hand.
But his left hand was also tied up.
Then that rules out his left hand.
Yeah, there we go.
No, that's wrong. Hold on. It's still too early to dismiss the possibility that he used his left hand.
Why? I mean, his left hand was tied up, you know?
But there was something off about his left hand. The bloodstain on the palm of his hand. Don't you think it looked somewhat strange? He only had blood on the lower area of his palm. Beyond that point, the bloodstain suddenly cuts off, right?
When the blood splattered, that's as far as it reached, right?
That settles the description of that bloodstain, but it's not the only unnatural bloodstain. Look, there's blood on the back of his hand, around the middle joints of his fingers.
That's a lot of
Like
blood.
you said, it looks like an unnatural blood stain, but what's wrong with that?
Can you guys really not visualize anything that if a hand was like this, that's and it like something splatters on it? Oh, surprise! Magic.
We might need to think and use our imaginations for a bit.
See?
If there's blood on his
Sorry,
palm and the
imagine.
back of his hand, what was his left hand doing as the blood splattered?
It was holding something. God, sometimes these games feel a bit like sometimes they're like, what? Like this connection doesn't make any sense whatsoever. But I guess sure if you explain it that way. But then sometimes it feels like a Dora the Explorer episode, and it's like, can you point out the difference? And it's just like, come on, you guys in the game should have a brain. I get like the player is supposed to figure it out, but It shouldn't take this long. Ripping.
I see! When the blood splattered, he was probably gripping with his left hand. That's why there's such a strange-looking bloodstain on his palm and the back of his hand.
Was he grabbing his front tail?
Oh my god, Akane, enough.
Perish the thought! He was obviously grabbing the spear!
Thank you, Sonia. Perish the thought.
Now that you mention it, compared to the rest of his body, the wounds on his left arm are pretty mild. He probably made his wounds mild on purpose, so he could keep his strength while he gripped the spear.
I mean, I still wouldn't call
But
2
even if he held the
gashes like
spear with his
mild,
tied-up
but
left hand, it'd be impossible for him to stab himself.
Fuyuhiko's really not very creative. You know, he's a Yakuza member. Now, I swear all of his, like, if he were to ever actually, like, fulfill a hit on someone or, like, you know, assassinate a guy, he'd just have the most mundane, like, boring killings. Like, oh, just shot in the head or stabbed in the heart, you know, nothing creative, because he just doesn't understand that it's even possible to do things like this. That's right, that's the problem.
Hey, Chiaki, what do you think? Hey, don't tell me you're getting sleepy.
At times like this, you should always strike from a good angle. Just like fixing an old TV.
Oh, I got it. Maybe.
Really?
Yeah, like I thought. It's no mistake that Nagito was gripping the spear, I think. However, what's important is what section of the spear he was gripping.
What section of the sphere was the board?
I see!
Yay, I'm
That's
back
it.
to full health.
Instead of the handle, Nagito must have been holding on to the cord. There was a metal weight at the tip of the cord, but there were bloodstains on that part too.
Okay, I'm pleased that, like, pretty much all of my intuition was correct so far, but
Plus, the joint between the weight and the cord had a bloodstain shaped like it was cut off by something.
Isn't the size of that cut-off section about the same size as a human fist?
Ah, you're right. So this is the part Nagito was gripping, huh?
not his front tail.
And then the blood that was supposed to end up here ended up getting on Nagito's left
Oh,
hand.
they actually show it now, yeah.
But why is it so important to know which part of the spear he was gripping?
Fuyuhiko. Come on, bro.
You're not gonna say he gripped the tip of the cord, swung the spear around, and stabbed himself, right?
That is where the clue to solve this mystery resides. Right, Chiaki?
It's kind of a mystery how he would ever get it up there. I guess you could, if it was weighted, you could just hang it there as you tied yourself up and then grab it and then do it.
I am sorry. Of course this mystery will not be solved that easily.
It's pretty easy. Nagito is gripping the cord extending from the butt of the spear with his left hand. But from there, how would he stab himself in the stomach with the spear?
It seems we are stuck. Shall we have tea time?
Wait, that's what you're stuck on? But it's so obvious.
At a time like this, how about we stick to the plan to think one step at a time instead of expecting the answers all at once?
That's a long plan name.
One step at a time? What does that mean? Let's focus on the spear first.
Okay.
Namely, where it was and how it was positioned just before it impaled Nagito.
I really thought it was going to be like trial break, and I was like, no.
How it was positioned.
Nagito was facing up, and the spear was stabbed through his stomach. So if it's just before that... That's it, could it be? The state of the spear and the fact that Nagito was holding the tip of the cord attachment. If I put this together and think about it, I should be able to figure it out. I should be able to figure out where the spear was and what state it was in before it stabbed Nagito. Is this a mind thing? Hangman's Gambit? Oh, logic dive, okay. Well, don't make me do, like, super difficult jumps again. That was a pain in the butt. Oh god, I don't like that. Just give me the question. Ah! Question 1. Where was the spear just before it impaled above Nagito? they move. I dislike that. Ah! Ah! Oh, well, there was no way I was avoiding that one. Question 2. Besides Spear, what else was above Nagito? Ceiling girder. Almost missed it. Watch it be those are the questions. Game over. I don't like you. God. Do you think Hajime is as good at skating IRL? I doubt it. Question 3. What item connects both the spear? Oh my god, the spears. Okay, that one was easy. Especially because I already knew the answer, clearly, but...
The spear impaled Nagito as he was laying face up. It must have been perpendicular to him just before that.
Perpendicular? In the middle of the air?
If Nagito did that all by himself, did he have some sort of ESP?
I have ESP!
That'd be awesome, but he probably used the ceiling girder directly above him.
Nagito probably slung the cord over the ceiling girder, and using that as a support, he hoisted the spear directly above him. And if Nagito let go of the cord, the spear would have fallen and impaled him while he was laying face up.
Oof.
I noticed a slight red streak on the ceiling girder. It probably got smeared there during the setup.
The blood on the cord probably rubbed off on the ceiling girder as the spear was falling. So, how about it? Using this method, Nagito could have impaled himself with the spear.
Are you serious? He really committed suicide? Like that?
It's pretty fucking brutal.
He probably chose that spear so he could commit suicide like that.
Also, yeah, of all the ways that you could do something like this,
If someone else did this, there's no reason they'd go to all this trouble just to kill someone with a spear.
I agree. When I was investigating this case, I kept thinking over and over how strange it was. Why did the killer use the knife and the spear so differently?
So you're saying he needed to use that spear to pull off his trick?
but then why bother with all the wounds? All the stab wounds?
Then this is for real? He really committed suicide?
Still suspicious, but I mean, so far all clues point to yes.
Every single wound on his body. That was all him?
That's just the most unbelievable part. Like, look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. On one leg alone, I count 15 stab wounds. Like, that's demented.
Not just that, he did all that while he was gripping a spear?
Which is, again, why I think it's just like a dummy or something. But then, how would you hold it? I don't know. Oh god,
That
I don't want to
spear
see
should not have
it.
stabbed Nagito until the very end.
He's just like, fine.
Which means Nagito wounded himself while he was gripping that spear, right?
Did he put the duct tape on his mouth too?
He probably covered his own mouth so we wouldn't hear him screaming in pain.
Oh, fucked up.
Did he need to go that far?
No, but this is Nagito. He's extra as fuck.
That's beyond crazy. Why would he do that to himself?
Because he's Nagito. He's extra as fuck.
He was probably trying to get us to make a mistake. By committing a suicide that looked like a murder, he was trying to steer us toward the wrong answer.
But this is Nagito, remember? He's always like, hope over despair and shit.
His goal was to get us all
I
executed.
don't think that's right.
And that's why he stabbed himself over and over again?
I still don't understand Nagito's mentality at all, though.
Did he want us to die that bad?
That's messed up. That's seriously so messed up.
Yeah, that's our Nagito.
Jeez, and I was starting to feel a little sympathetic toward him. How stupid of me. I completely underestimated his capacity for malice. A mind-boggling malice that threatens us even after he's died. That's the form his malice took. I'd forgotten all about it until now. If he was here now, he'd probably be sneering at me, yeah, with that.
However, there is one thing I still do not understand. He said he would reveal the traitor, right?
Yeah.
Whatever became of that?
He was probably planning to kill the traitor along with the rest of us.
So why did he not just do that in the first place?
Mm-hmm.
If he had no qualms with killing everyone, he did not have to cause a bomb scare to reveal the traitor.
Yeah, this is the part that I'm not too sure on, is like what his reasoning / motivation is.
I bet the bomb scare was part of the strategy behind this trick. He made us split up and search for a bomb so none of us would have an alibi. He created a scenario where any of us could have killed him.
He tried to make us doubt each other and tried to hide the truth behind his suicide.
He didn't do a very good job.
Did he cause a bomb scare for that reason alone?
He's a fucking bastard who killed himself for his delusions of grandeur. It's not that unthinkable.
You are right, I suppose.
But Nagito is also smarter than that.
Yeah, it appears we've come to a conclusion.
Because if we get this wrong, then we all die.
The bastard Nagito committed suicide. It was all done by him so we'd be executed.
Like, what if that's the thing? What if, like, the ploy isn't to get them to mistakenly believe that there was a murderer, but to believe that he committed suicide? And then by voting him, they get it wrong.
That should be okay, right? Right?
What? You're not satisfied yet?
I'm not.
No, I agree that Nagito killed himself, but I feel like there's something that doesn't make sense. It's probably just my imagination.
No, Akane, you're actually having a decent thought. Why? I mean, I sort of understand what she's talking about. I don't think it's a mistake to assume that Nagito committed suicide, but why do I feel so uneasy about it? Is it because we don't know who the traitor is, or?
So what are you gonna do? Is it okay to proceed with the voting time?
What do you think, Akane?
Well, there's no doubt Nagito's death was a suicide. Oh well, I guess my gut is wrong sometimes.
You're right. It is not as though we can draw any other conclusion.
Then it's okay to end it here.
What if Nagito just like comes into the room?
That means we're done with this last class trial and we can leave this island, right? It's okay to reach such a happy ending, right?
Then it's okay? It's okay to say, you've decided on the killer?
Okay, game, we get it. It's suspicious.
Understood. Then voting time.
No, hold on a sec.
Yeah, I don't know what he's gonna say. Monokuma really wanted to kill us.
Hold on. Why?
Sorry, just a little more. I want you guys to wait just a little more. I can't help but feel like there's still something we overlooked.
I'm trying to think what clue we would. Oh, the gas, the poison.
Like who the traitor is?
But the issue here is who killed Nagito, right? Even if we identify the traitor, the conclusion won't change.
That's true, but
And the notebook.
The mystery isn't just about who the traitor is.
Huh?
No matter how you look at it, Nagito's death is a suicide. But
But
I'm a little worried, you know? I'm worried about starting the voting time while there's still a mystery.
Hey, what do you mean it's not about who the traitor is? What kind of mystery is left?
There's just one thing that doesn't make sense, and it relates to Nagito's death.
Oh. I think that the poison was put into the fire grenades. And then when they threw the fire grenades at the curtain, it caused the poison that killed him. So they're all the killer. And then that's what caused the spear to drop. Because he died. Do you think that's it? Because Hajime also mentioned that when he went into the break room, that there were different fire extinguishing tools or something in there before, right? And that it had changed?
Plus, it's something even Nagito couldn't influence. He couldn't even tamper with the evidence for it.
That's gotta be it. Something related to Nagito's death, and it's something that even he couldn't have messed with.
You're gonna keep going? And here I thought we were finally finished.
Oh, fuck. If that's what it is, that's even more fucking twisted. Something, a piece of evidence that he couldn't mess with. The poison.
Crap!
Wait, what? Chaki's worried about something else? I'm sorry, what? Something even he couldn't mess with? He couldn't mess with. Oh. This? Because it never does say what his cause of death is. Because if it just said right out that it was poison, it was like the jig is up, right?
I see! Is it about the Monokuma file?
Yeah, that's it.
Huh? There was something suspicious in the Monokuma file?
It only stated the fact that there were wounds. The victim is Nagito Komaeda. The body was discovered inside the warehouse near the Monokuma plushie factory. The estimated time of death is believed to be noon sharp. Not only is there a spear stabbed in his stomach, there are multiple stab wounds on each of his thighs. It's believed to be noon sharp, doesn't mean it is noon sharp. Furthermore, there is a laceration on his left arm and a knife impaled through his right hand. It doesn't say what actually killed him, though. The suspicious part of the Monokuma file that Chiaki is worried about is... what is it? What's hidden in the Monokuma file? I really think it's the poison thing. Oh. Cause of death. And somebody use... oh god. Ah! Oh god, why are there so many letters? Oh my god. Fuck. I needed that. I can't even. Like, focus. This is ridiculous. Need an A. I need an H now? Jesus, that was so hard.
I got it!
There's no way I could have done any of that any better.
In this particular case's Monokuma file, there's no specific cause of death.
I think I got it. Not only is there a spear stabbed in his stomach, there are multiple stab wounds on each of his thighs. Furthermore, there is a laceration. Well, yeah, we just read this.
Isn't that weird? Until now, the files always specified the cause of death.
But the cause of death is obvious, is it not?
Who is the one who... I'm trying to think who was the one who was like, oh, those are fire grenades. We should use those. Because weren't there also like a fire extinguisher and stuff, or did he take those away?
The spear in Nagito's stomach. It is obvious just by looking at it that it was a cause of death.
Maybe it's not included if it's not important enough to write about.
Well, Monokuma?
I plead the fifth!
There he goes again! I'm so appalled that I have nothing to say.
I really hope that that spelling of fifth was like a typo and not actually.
But even during Gundam's case, and before during
Gundam.
Mikan's case, the thing he purposely omitted from the Monokuma file was always the most important mystery in the case.
Right, like the time of death and such.
Are you saying that applies this time too?
Hell yeah, it does.
Hold on a sec. Then, are you saying there's more to Nagito's death? Are you suggesting, again, that his death wasn't a suicide?
It's so fucked up though, if that really is the case. And he turned everyone into a murderer.
You guys were the ones who said it was a
Like
suicide in the
unknowingly, of
first place.
course. But
No, I don't think it's a mistake to call Nagito's death a suicide.
it might be.
But it's not just a suicide. Come to think of it, did Nagito really commit suicide just to get us all killed?
Are you sticking up for him?
That's not what I meant. I mean it in a bad sense.
Bad sense?
I just remembered that his malice always defied our expectations, and that concerns me. For example, would that malice just end here?
Never. This is Nagito.
Huh?
Did Nagito's malice drive him to risk his life for a truth we'd reach this easily?
Yeah, I said it was too easy.
I mean, this is Nagito we're talking about, you know?
How interesting! You sure do believe in Nagito, huh?
In like the bad parts.
Because you believe in his malice, you continue to suspect his malice.
Sure.
I see. I guess that's what passes for friendship these days.
What friendship?
Yeah.
What should we do, you guys? Should we proceed with the vote? I think we should keep going until everyone is satisfied, even if it's just to be safe.
You're right. We only get one chance to vote after all.
Just to be safe, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Guess I have no choice. If that's the case, I'll do my best to go along with it.
This is how, yeah, that's how he would end the killing game, right? Because there's no way Monokuma can execute everybody.
This is friggin' annoying. But if you guys say you're
Shit.
doing it, there's no way I'm gonna back out.
Oh, that's so clever. I should have seen it earlier.
Hey, Monokuma, you heard us. The voting's gonna have to wait.
But to be honest, I like had forgotten about the poison while doing this.
We've come this far. Let's work hard till the very end. If we work together, everything should be all right.
Not when you find out you all killed someone.
That's what I believe.
Aww,
Oh.
splendid. You guys are so splendid right now. That's right. If all your hopes are united, no despair can shake you.
If all your hopes are united, no despair can shake you, huh? Now that I think about it, Nagito said the same thing. The absolute hope that can overcome any despair. He said he was yearning for that. Then the situation we're in might be the thing that Nagito wanted all along. No, never mind. I'm probably overthinking. Oh, shit. Oh.
No.
Man, my heart was racing like crazy when I thought the voting time was gonna start, but... Well, if you think about it rationally, there's no way it was gonna happen. We haven't done this bit yet, yeah. Most of the players probably figured that out too. You're the only one who didn't know. Isn't that right, Monomi? Hey, how much longer are you planning to sulk? Let's get along like we always do. Alright, you passed. Friendship is measured by how long you can stand the silence when you're all alone with someone else. Oh, that's a pretty interesting premise. So, Monomi and I are the bestest of best friends. Don't say such stupid things. I hate you so much right now. Enough. Why do I have to be hated that much? Besides the fact that you snap at me like that, I don't trust you at all. Not even a teensy tiny 1 millimeter bit. How sad. Distrusting your friend is much more shameful than being betrayed by that friend, you know? We aren't even friends in the first place. Then as your older brother, let me say this. You're not even my brother. It's sad to live a life without friendship. That's even sadder than watching a high school rom-com full of guys. Well, there may be some demands for that. whoa. I fell for it. I totally took the man bait. Dead. Okay, I really think that I am correct. This is what I believe. So we're gonna leave this one here. And we'll start with the trial next time. The end of the trial. I really wonder what the conclusion is gonna be then. And what's gonna happen with now that like the killing game is supposedly over, / with the countdown. Is there another chapter after this? I can't remember. If there were 6. Anyways. That like I think this whole thing just kind of proves how demented but also like wickedly smart Nagito is. He's just so crazy. I still can't believe that he did that. I don't know why this thought just like blows my mind so much. But anyways, we'll continue with this next time. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for notifications when I put out new videos. I love you all, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!